Now this Winsor seed, I'm just going to use the 3 colours, raw sienna, burnt umber and ultramarine. So I'm going to start by just wetting the paper all over, not too much water, just enough to wet it. It stops it from crinkling and all that horrible stuff. Bit of raw sienna, just only a little bit, just haphazardly whack down the paper, clean the brush. Let's have a bit of ultramarine, just a hint of brown as well, or burnt umber, a bit of blue up in the sky. I'm going to leave it at that quite clear, I think. There's going to be a few trees there, so I'm going to bother with that. A few little clouds. That'll do. Just getting rid of those hairs. Now if there weren't clouds there, I'd have left them till it was dry, because otherwise I'd have made a right mess. So that's in. Let's just stick a few little background, sort of slope going up here. Let's just something in the background here, these background trees. It's sort of going right up there. And this is going to be snow. Just sort of something like that. Scrape a few trunks in while it's still wet. Switch to the rigger. Same 2 colours, burnt umber, ultramarine. I'm just going to pop a few little trunks and stuff in there. It's still wet, so it's just soft enough. A bit more. And then let's get some bigger ones. I'm going to use the height now just to put some bigger ones in. First the dished up ones, so still not too much. That hair's coming off there. That's what you'll find with the eye brush. It's just one of those things you have to put up with. The hairs will keep coming off. Almost each painting you'll have a hair fall off. A few more. So you can see how the brush, they're just starting to separate now. So if I just dip them into the water, it brings it all back together again. Back into here. And then, see the chisel edge now, I can put some in just the faint darker ones, distant ones I mean. No, I'm going to do any more than that, not for that little bit. Paper strips very, very slightly. I didn't wet it that much, but just enough to stop it from going all crinkly. So I'm just putting it tight now, and I'll just refix it so it's nice and flat. Right, next I'm going to dry the brush a bit. Put some slightly bigger ones in, I think, first. Slightly wider. In fact, what I need to do, I need to just dry that. Not bone dry, but just dry as it was, just so it I get a bit more of a contrast. Wet onto dry, it just works better. You know, that should, because that's dry now, it should sort of come forward more than the stuff in the background. There you go. Just got to get them hairs keep separating. I want them close together like that. try it again, back into the same colours. See, I've got the back together again now, so I can right, and then with that in, let's go for a big one now, big tree. So same two colours, maybe a bit of raw sienna as well, just throw them all in. And then down here, we've got a big trunk, and you sort of comes off something like that. A bit wider. Yeah. Just twisting your hake in all sorts of shapes. You get all sorts of shapes and sizes and different variations coming off it. Get the main sort of skeleton in with the hake brush, and then switch to the rigger just to do some of the finer stuff. That's just coming right off. You'll need plenty of water with the hake, with the rigger, because it's such a fine little brush. And then a few more of the finer twigs and branches. And then, just to give the impression of even finer stuff, you just sort of, let's just get just a little bit on there, and just sort of just lightly brush in some. This is just like the real finer twigs and whatnot in there. Bits and pieces. You can see as it's dried, they sort of come real forward from the background. Right then. Now I want this fairly dry now, because I want it to really break up. Back there and stuff there. It's going to be a sort of path coming along there. I'm just taking that right up to the edge. And this is where the earth and bits and pieces are showing through the snow. So I want to preserve plenty of white. So obviously the white of the paper is acting as the snow. Just imagine the path sort of coming down like that. That'll do. Right then, moving over onto the left hand side now, there's like a bushy fencey thing. Hedge was, that was it, a hedge, that's the word I was looking for. So now it's coming sort of something like that. But I don't want much water, because I want to, you see where the paint's not getting through. I want that to look like there's sort of snow on there. That's sort of going down. Hang on a minute. It needs to come a little bit higher, I think. Got my angle slightly wrong there. The horizon should have been a bit lower. Hang on a minute. Just bring that down a little bit. Let's just stick like a... Switching back to the rigger. Just stick like a... Like some little... Just bare branches and twigs and stuff. just want that to meet, just to meet in the distance a bit there then. Wait that slightly so I can just things in there. And then I'll do it with the eye. Just a little few more bits. Just twigs and stuff in these hedges. Sort of comes, just trying to define that path a bit better. Just going to clean the brush and just have just a little bit of raw sienna, something down there. Where the grasses are just sticking up from the snow, and now we've got there's like just bits of just footsteps and where the snow's breaking. Stronger there. Back to the rigger. Remember, they get smaller and smaller the further they go away, these little bits of grasses and stuff. A few more up there. Maybe even a few on the pathway. And then somewhere right there. And then a bit more water. I'm walking off in the distance. A little trail behind them. Couple little birds. Just trying to keep them really small. And then finally, I'm just going to stick my name down there and call that one finished. Little line in winter. Now let's have a closer look at it. So this is what the painting looks like with the mount on. So let's have a closer look at it. As usual, started with the sky, and this was a mix of raw sienna, and then the blue had a bit of a burnt umber in it to give it that sort of grey wintry look. A few clouds blotted out with the tissues, and then started with the distant wooded mass in the background, just using the corner of the height brush, browns and blues in there, and a few scrapes with a fingernail. and then also just using the chisel edge of the hake to create some distant branches and trunks, and then obviously the hake again to put in this big one here on the right hand side which frames the painting. Now using the dry brush, it's sort of hit and miss with the paint touching the paper now, and then where it's the paper's left, it gives you all this nice sort of snowy effect amongst all the ground. The hedge on the left hand side is a combination of the again the brown and the blue, put in with a fairly dry brush, just so you see again where the paint misses. It just looks like bits of snow on the hedge and whatnot. Again, a few flicks with the fingernail, a few twigs and stuff put in with the brushes, and you end up with this nice little hedgerow effect. So obviously it gets smaller and smaller as it goes off into the distance and joins up with the far land on the right hand side. We got a little figure in there just to add a bit of life to it, and again I've kept the path very white just to give the effect of the snow coming down into the foreground, just bits of earth and stuff sticking out through the snow, twigs and grasses and whatnot. Well, thanks for watching, I hope you like that. Any questions please ask, keep practicing, and I'll see you again soon.